Hello guys, welcome back to my new YouTube channel. I'm the Knight, the guild leader of Zeus, and I will be explaining you the TPvP, its basics. Do know that this video will be separated in 2, maybe even 3 videos, it all depends. And this video will only be about the basics around TPvP. The next video will be about the advanced stuff you need to know about TPvP, like let's say the rotations, the communication, maybe even some good compositions of the team, but that will be for later. So first of all, I joined this 1 versus 1 server right here, so you have something to watch while I'm explaining the TPvP, the basics guide. Now first of all, what is TPvP and what is sPvP? Now there is a huge difference between those two. A lot of people are thinking sPvP is solo PvP and TPvP is team PvP. That is totally wrong. Now what is sPvP? sPvP stands for structured player versus player. What is sPvP exactly? When you press on this icon right here, the PvP, and you go to the 4th tab, the game browser, you see a lot of custom arenas and the normal hot join servers. Those are the sPvP servers. Those are structured PvP servers because they can be changed by the people themselves, or the hot join servers where you can quickly join while it's structured because it's a max of 5 versus 5, and it's the same thing as any other PvP game. So sPvP does not stand for solo PvP. Do know that. Don't forget it and don't trust anyone else saying differently. sPvP stands for structured PvP and is meant for custom arena and hot join. Now what is TPvP? TPvP stands for tournament player versus player. Where are the tournaments? Well, both solo arena and team arena are tournamental PvP. So yes, TPvP is solo arena and team arena. Do not trust or believe anyone else saying that TPvP is team arena. That's not true. Well, team arena is kind of TPvP, but solo arena is also TPvP. And if you're still not sure, if you need some hard proof, black on white, just go to Google, type gw2wiki.com, go to the website and search for PvP, and you will see the whole wall of text explaining why solo arena and team arena is TPvP and hot join and custom arenas are sPvP. So now the second thing what I want to explain about PvP itself, the game mode, is all about Conquest. So if I press the question mark right now, as you can see, well, it will quickly disappear again because someone has won the 1 versus 1 thingy, but let me quickly explain. In Conquest mode, doesn't matter what game you're on, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty, WoW, League of Legends, WoW, Guild Wars 2, Conquest is based around capturing points, trying to keep them. The longer you can keep the points, the more points you gain per second and the more chance you have to win. So basically, when it comes to Conquest, what you need to do is assaulting points but also defending points. Now the first rule about Conquest is that the match ends when the first team reaches 500 points. So basically you got the team score right here on top. Since this is a custom arena, you won't see the points going up above 50 points because this is a 1 versus 1 arena. But let's say if this was any other hot join server or solo arena or a team arena, the first team that reaches 500 points right here wins the match. Now the second rule is focus on capturing points and not killing the enemy. A lot of new players are I'm not gonna say disturbing the experienced players, but a lot of, since the April patch, I kinda understand that a lot of new players are trying to understand the game. But to understand the game, you really need to gain experience, but also watch YouTube channels, stream channels. You gotta ask questions. What is PvP all about? So basically, when it comes to Conquest, you focus on capturing and assaulting points and not killing the enemy. I will explain you why. Let's say your team has one capturing point right here, which is mine. So this changes if you were on the red team, this changes in the red color. If you have this point for your team, that means every second your team gains 2 points. So in a minute your team has already 120 points because you were able to keep 1 point. If your team has 2 points, which is mine, and keep, your team will have 4 points per second, and that means your team will have 250 points after 1 minute already. So basically it's really important that you focus on capturing points. Let's see what happens if we have all 3 points. If your team has all 3 points for a few seconds or maybe even a minute, that means your team will gain 6 points per second. So each point gives 2 points per second. So the more and the longer points you got, the more points and the more chance your team will have to win the game. Now let me explain why focusing capturing is much more important than focusing on killing. If you kill a certain enemy, your team will only gain 5 points. As you know, it does take a lot of time to kill a certain enemy. It doesn't matter what class you are, how experienced you are, and 1 versus 1. It takes a lot of time to focus an enemy down. Like, let's say it takes 20 seconds. So let's say every 20 seconds you're able to kill 1 enemy player. That means in 1 minute you will gain 15 points for your team. And let's say the enemy team is actually focusing on capturing points. Let's say they got 2 points. Let's say they got hench and they got keep. So your enemy team is blue. Let's say they got hench and they got keep. Meaning every second they gain 4 points. So basically they gain the same amount of points you gain in 20 seconds by killing 1 enemy. They got it in 1.5 seconds. So as you can see, capturing points is much more important than killing the enemy. You only need to kill enemy if you need to defend the point or if you're assaulting a point. You don't kill an enemy for any other reason. If you just want to kill enemies all the time, I suggest not to go to solo arena or team arena, because people right there in solo arena and team arena want to win the match and not kill people. So if you just want to PvP to kill people, I suggest staying into hot join or custom arenas. It doesn't matter, but stay out of solo and team arena. Now the third rule about Conquest is that the time limit is 50 minutes. Now as you can see, the time limit is a lot bigger right here, because as I told you, this is not a normal server. This is a custom arena where the host can just change around the time and the points and stuff like that. So a custom arena is not the same as any other TPvP arena. Now the fourth and the last rule but that's very exceptional. Let's say if both of your team got 500 and 500, or let's say 300 and 300 because of the time limit that went by. Well, basically there will still be a winning team. So what the server actually does is, blue team has 5 players, red team has 5 players. What the server does in this situation when they both have the same points, they will sum up the individual scores of the player. So as you can see, Drazy Schutz has 30 points, Syntax Illy has 0, and that can happen. I mean, the most supportive guys in the TPvP teams have mostly the lowest points as well. That's mostly the case, not always, but that's mostly the case. So basically what you need to know about the individual scores is that it does not contribute to the team score. As you can see, Drazy Schutz has 45 points, but the team has only 15 points. So you gain only team points when you kill a player or capture a point, or yeah, it's if you have points like henge or keep or mine, or if you killed an enemy. That's the only way to gain team score. It doesn't matter how many points you defended. You might gain individual points right here, but as you can see, it does not contribute to the team score. So what happens if both of the teams have the same score, the same outcome? And that happens. It happened to me a lot. So basically what the server does is sum up the individual scores of the red team and the individual scores of the blue team. Now the team with the most summed up individual scores will be declared winner. So that's something you need to know. So that's it for the explaining about the difference between TPvP and sPvP and what Conquest really is. Now the second question I had before was, what is the difference between solo arena and team arena? So if we have a look at solo arena and team arena right here, you see this drawing right here. This is just one guy, and if you look at the team arena drawing, you see there is a group of guys. Now this says a lot of as well as the word solo and team. Solo arena does not mean you will go solo against another lonely guy. No, solo arena means if you press join right here, you will be put in a queue, and the server will try to find 4 other people who just pressed join as well. So basically what solo arena does is it makes a party. It makes 2 parties, one blue team and one red team, but with all people you've never heard about, you've never saw. Maybe it's possible it might include a friend of yours in the enemy team. That's perfectly possible. But basically when it comes to solo arena, you can't invite your party or guild members. So that's something you need to remember. If you want to play PvP, well, ranked PvP with your friends or with your guildies, I suggest going into team arena. Now first thing you need to know about team arena is you need to have a party before your start. That's the easiest way to come into team arena. So you make a party of 5, you just get on TeamSpeak and just make sure your composition in your team is quite good. So have at least 1 support guardian, maybe 1 warrior and a thief. That might be good as well. So you don't want to have 5 turret engineers. That would be quite stupid. Although it might be quite effective, you might be able to win, but that's not really competitive. I mean, yeah, but that's something for later. So basically what you do is you invite people to your party. Make sure you got a full party. Afterwards, you press join right here. What you do is press invite party, so everyone in your party will have a pop on his screen saying, well, asking if you want to join the team arena invitation. So basically they need to press accept, and once they accept, their name will come up with a green tick next to the name. After you saw all 4 of your team members have accepted the request, then you press submit. What the server then does is put you and your party faced versus another enemy team. It does not say they will be pre-made and using TS as well. It's perfectly possible. I mean, a lot of people are joining team arena alone. Like, as you can see, I'm alone. I'm Terror Squad right here, and if I press submit now, I can join a team with 4 people. It's perfectly possible. Some teams lack people, don't have, maybe some people only have a party of 2, and the 3 others were people who went solo into the queue. So that's perfectly possible. You don't need to have a party or team for the team arena to play with. But I do suggest to only go into team arena if you got a team. Because if you're facing a lot of enemy teams with TeamSpeak and you are playing with another team in your team, but you don't communicate on TeamSpeak and stuff like that, the enemy might have a big advantage, because you will be seen as a perk. You will be seen as a picked up group, because the 3 team members in your team which were partied up together, and the 2 others in your team, you and someone else, will be perks. You're not on TS, you're not in their team. So basically, if the enemy has a 5-man squad, a 5-man team with TeamSpeak, the enemy team has a big advantage over you. So that's something you need to know. It's very important. If you're alone, I suggest going into solo arena. But if you want to play with friends, go into team arena. That's all I need to say. If you're alone, I suggest not to go to team arena, because you will be some sort of drag for the other team members. Well, it's actually the team members, their fault, because they queued up with 3 people, when it's actually better to just ask in map chat or guild chat, or use the looking for group tool right here. You can use it in PvP as well. As you can see, team arena and custom arena, it's perfectly possible to use it. Just advertise your party and say you're looking for a team. So that was basically the difference between solo arena and team arena. So in solo arena you can't play with friends and guildies, and team arena you can, but you need to party up before you start inviting. You can also add names. As you can see, you just type someone's name and press plus, and that guy will have an invitation. Now they don't need to be in your party for that. They just need to see the invitation and accept, and they will be in the same team as you in the team arena. Now basically, when it comes to gameplay, both are the same. Both are Conquest game modes. As I explained earlier, it doesn't matter where you go in PvP, be it hard join, be it custom arena, be it rated matches or tournament matches like solo and team arena, all of them are Conquest based. But there is a small other difference between solo arena and team arena, which is their leaderboard. So if you press their leaderboard, you will see both leaderboards are separated from each other, because team arena leaderboard is basically shows you how good your it does shows the individual ranking, but you have to tank your ranking by your team. I mean, if you have a bad ranking in Team Arena, that means either you don't have a team, or you have a bad team, or you still need to figure out some things in your team. But if you have a pretty good ranking, like let's say you're in the top 1000, which is already not bad, I mean that's good, that's very good, that means your team is doing quite well, or you just having luck when queuing alone in the Team Arena, and you just get constant good people in your team. But basically your individual ranking in Team Arena is thanks to the team you're in. So in Team Arena it does not go with the personal or individual score you gain in Team Arena. It's what your team performs versus the enemy teams in Team Arena. Now the solo arena is just the same thing. It's also based not based on your performance, it's also based on what people you had in your team. So a lot of people are complaining about solo arena because a lot of experienced players, as myself, mostly I'm in the top 400 in solo arena, but like since the April patch, and I don't mind new players, but I do mind that new players are getting stuck and team with very experienced players. Now that's good for the beginners because they will likely they have more chance to win the game, but that's very bad for the experienced players, because the experienced players only want experienced people in their team, so they have more chance to win. So when it comes to solo arena, the matchmaking is not that great, to be honest. They should do something about it, so you only face people of your ranking. This might sound a bit of elitist, but that's not the whole point. I mean, if you set beginners all the time versus very experienced players, those beginners will just quit doing PvP because they lose all the time. There will just be a small amount of people of them. They will just keep trying and keep trying and keep learning, but eventually they will just give up because they're not learning anything. And also for the experienced people, it's quite stupid if they lose a game they should have won because they had two beginners in their team. They were focusing on killing instead of capturing the points, because this is Conquest. All PvP games are Conquest. You focus on capturing points, you don't focus on killing enemies, but I explained that before and I explained why. So as you can see, they have two separated leaderboards right here. Just click on it, then you need to log in and you see your ranking into the leaderboards. Now there's also some terms and words you might have heard of but don't know what they mean. I'm just gonna say some words like you have three kinds of I'm not gonna say builds, but like types in TPvP, meaning you have a bunker, you have DPS, and you have support. So basically it's the same like if you've played a WoW or any other MMO with a looking for group tool or some sort of looking for group tool for dungeons or something, you know there is a healer, a DPS and a tank. Well, basically in TPvP you also have bunker, DPS and support. Now bunker, what is bunker? Bunker are people who are able to hold on a point quite long. So let's say you all blue, you are sending one guy to home, let's say a staff cleric LA, so full healing, and you let him stand right here, which you shouldn't do, but let's say there is one enemy crossing right here, let's say an enemy thief, and he's trying to decap. Now do know that the cleric staff LA is very bunkerish, and that means he can just keep surviving on the point without the thief having it able to T-gap. It would just be contestant. You will see like two swords across those white points right here of hench. You will see that it's contestant, but as long the LA the elementalist is able to stay on the point, the thief won't be able to T-cap it. So it will stay blue as long the LA doesn't leave the point longer than 3 seconds. So that is actually a bunker. Like a hammer longbow warrior is also quite bunkerish, and that's why in most cases a longbow is assigned between mid and close, because it can bunk pretty good as well compared to other classes. Another bunker is also a minion master necro or a turret engineer, as you might all have heard of or all seen before. Those are bunkers, guys. Now, what is DPS? DPS stands for damage per second. Now, there are only a few people running such classes in the current meta. Let's say a thief is actually a DPS, some kind of guy. Shadow Mesmers are DPS. I wouldn't really say Spirit Rangers. Spirit Rangers are more support. So what does support mean? Support means that you actually are bringing support to your team. So like I said before, at the start, let's say you're a staff bunker LA, you're able to bunk home. Let's say someone else from the mid fight is coming back to help you killing the thief, and close is safe now, so you both go to mid right now. Maybe the LA goes here, so he's on the ledge right here. So basically a staff bunker LA with a lot of healing can also be a support because of its water fields, because of his defensive and offensive skills. It can bring a lot of support. Now another big support kind of guy is the support guardian with the shout build. All the builds I'm saying right now, you can see the builds, the guides and the gameplay on my YouTube channel, by the way, so the support guard is in it as well. So basically what a support guard does is keep his teammates alive in the team fights. So that's the difference between bunker, DPS and support. Now you also hear a lot about close, mid and far. What is close, mid and far? Let's say you're on the blue team right here. This is your respawn. This is your spawn right here. Close means this. This is your close point or home point. Home or close, it's the same. The point closest to your spawn is always close or home. So let's say if you were on the red base, mine will be close or home point. Mid is always the point exactly on the mid of the map, on the mid of the points, as you can see. So that's just logical. That is the midpoint. Now what is far? Far is, let's say if you were on the blue base, this is your spawn, this is close, this is mid, this is far. So the furthest point for you is far. Far is always the home point of your enemy. Far is always the close point of your enemy. So if you say if someone is saying I'm going to far, it means he will cross the beach and he will go to far. And if someone's saying I'll go to close, that means he will just get close. If the rest is saying we go to mid, that means they will go to mid. So that's it for close, mid and far. Now there is this other term, crossing. What does crossing means? So let's say that the match is about to begin. You got the blue base and the red base, and you're on the blue base. When you're, as you can see, you got two exits right there. You got this exit and you got this exit. This exit is perfectly meant to get close really quick. This exit is perfect to assault far or to assault mid. But basically it's also good if you just want to assault mid with the group, but you go over this beach right here and then you go there. That's crossing. Crossing means you go from your spawn onto the territory of your enemy like this, onto their close point, or you are reporting crossing players. Like let's say you took this exit right here, you keep standing here to see if any enemy is trying to join, trying to cross, and then you can report any incoming over this line right here to close. So you can contact this guy saying there is one enemy crossing. So it's either up to you if you're still standing here. It's up to you if you want to stop the enemy from crossing, or if you want to let him cross and fight the bunker LA on the close. So that's crossing. Crossing means from your side to the enemy side directly. Now cap and decap. Cap is just a shortened version of capturing. Decap is exactly the same. Decap is from decapturing. So let's say there is no bunker at the far point, so we're still in blue right now, and you going to cross and going to the far point, and now it's neutralized. That means you decapped it, you changed it back to white, it's neutralized. So that means a decap. So it's simple. Ink, which is written like E and C, means incoming. So for example, if you see in the team chat 2 ink, that means 2 incoming. Splitting means that's actually when you're opening the match. Splitting means if you go with 2 guys like this on this exit right here, and 2 guys or 3 guys on this exit right here, so you're splitting. So in a split you can also cross towards the enemy's close. Downed, well, that's perfectly normal. I mean, if someone is downed, that means he is not up. Well, that means the team member or the enemy player is in the down state. That means he is not able to use his skills anymore except for the down skill. So if someone calls down, that means you need to res. Res stands for revive the downed teammate. Stomping, that's also a word commonly used in TPvP. Stomping means using the F skill on a downed enemy. So when you are stomping, like jumping and put a flag right into his chest, that is called stomping. You also got the word safe stomping. Safe stomping means you're saying to your team they don't need to help stomping because you have stability. They won't be able to CC you out of the down state, so you will have 100% chance to stomp. That's the safe stomp. Cleaving means hitting multiple targets at once. So basically like an axe warrior with the auto attack or with the x2, they can hit multiple attack at once, and that's perfectly good. That's actually good if they are trying to res an enemy teammate, and as you can see they will be trying with 2 or 3 people to res this guy. Then you should be able to cleave, and cleave actually means hitting multiple enemies at once, some sort of AOE attack. Yeah. Peeling actually is also a very common word. That actually means taking an enemy who is attacking your teammate away so he stops dealing damage on your friend. So let's say your friend is on low health, let's say 20% HP, and there is this thief constantly trying to gank him, and so you focus on the team, on the thief. So the thief has to avoid the situation where he gets killed, so he will maybe even leave the situation. So that's actually peeling off the thief. So basically, guys, I think I'm done with my guide for now. I know it might have been kind of boring. My actual point was just make sure that a lot of people are getting the point what TPvP is actually all about. This TPvP video was only the basics. I will be explaining the advanced guide really soon. So what will come in the advanced video? In the advanced video, I will be discussing the rotations, the composition of your team, and the communication, stuff like that. So the advanced video is basically for people who 100% know the basics. So if you listen to my video, you really need to focus up in PvP and focus on capturing points instead of killing the enemy. So if you focus on capturing points, your team will win. Be sure about that. It's 100% win, because a lot of people are trying to focus on killing people, and that's actually the wrong way to PvP, because all PvP modes right here are conquest modes, and that's why a lot of people in the PvP community is quite sick of the conquest modes. It has been here for 2 years without nothing else. Well, we have the team deathmatch map. I don't really remember the name of that map. I don't know if it still exists. I do think it does. Right here, this map, courtyard. This is a team deathmatch map, but it's not totally worth it in my opinion. It's quite fun for a short amount of time, but yeah, team deathmatch is not my thing. So yeah, the only other option is conquest. So you do need to know conquest is all about capturing points and not killing enemies. So as long you understand this as a beginner player, you will be on the leaderboards in no time. I mean, you will gain a lot of experience, you will gain a lot of respect as well from the experienced players, because experienced players really hate beginners who are constantly chasing and focusing on killing enemies when they should focus on capturing. So if experienced people are seeing that you are focusing on capturing the point, they will totally respect you. So well, it all depends on your rotation skill, but they will at least appreciate it you're trying to capture instead of killing people. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to this guide. I really hoped it was kind of helpful. I really hope it wasn't that boring for you guys, although I think it might be a bit boring. But yeah, that's it for my guides. Thanks for listening. I will be making the advanced TPvP guide very soon, so just subscribe and like my videos. Feel free to browse around to my guides and builds, by the way, which are all pretty viable inside the TPvP scene. Guys, see you later. Thanks for watching, and bye.